The emergency session chamber of the Galactic Council buzzed with an energy that bordered on chaos. Ambassador Najwa stood at the central podium, her dark eyes scanning the assembled representatives from 47 different species. The holographic displays around her flickered with urgent messages, distress signals, and most prominently, the coordinates of the human fleet that had appeared at the edge of Council space just 3 cycles ago. "This is unprecedented," wheezed the Krillian delegate through his translator implant. "They refuse every communication protocol. They ignore our hails. They simply—" "Wait." Najwa allowed herself a small smile. She had been stationed on Earth for 5 rotations before the Council recalled her, panicked by humanity's sudden silence. They thought she could explain her people. They thought she could negotiate. They were wrong. "What do the humans want?" demanded the Thoraxian War Master, his chitinous plates rattling with agitation. "Territory? Resources? Tribute? They want nothing," Najwa said simply. The chamber fell silent. "That's what terrifies you, isn't it? You've spent millennia building a system where every species has a price, a weakness, a negotiation point. But humans have rejected the very premise of your game." On the observation deck of the flagship Indomitable, Commander Sagasta watched the Council station through the viewport. The massive structure hung in space like a jeweled crown, representing everything the Galactic Council believed made them civilized. Diplomacy, compromise, endless debate. "Sir, they're hailing us again," reported his communications officer. 73rd attempt. "They're offering full membership, technology exchanges, even a seat on the High Council." Sagasta didn't turn from the viewport. Standard response: "Silence, sir." Silence. The truth was, humanity had tried negotiation. For 20 years after first contact, they had sat through endless council sessions, submitted proposals, followed protocols. They had watched as the Council deliberated on recognizing Earth's sovereignty, while Council-aligned corporations strip-mined the asteroid belt. They had smiled politely while Council bureaucrats explained that human concepts of individual rights were culturally specific and couldn't apply to galactic law. Then the Council had made its fatal mistake. They had declared Earth a developing protectorate and stationed a peacekeeping fleet in the solar system, without asking permission. Humanity's response had been simple. They stopped talking and started building. Back in the Council chamber, panic was setting in. The Viserion Trade Minister was practically vibrating with anxiety. "But everyone negotiates. It's the foundation of galactic civilization." "Is it?" Najwa asked quietly. "Or is it just the foundation of your control? You've built an entire system based on the assumption that every species will eventually come to the table, that everyone can be bought or threatened or cajoled. But what happens when a species simply opts out?" "They can't opt out," screeched the Pelthian delegate. "They're surrounded by Council space. They need our trade routes, our technology, our markets." Najwa pulled up a holographic display. It showed Earth's solar system, transformed over the past 3 years. Shipyards orbited Mars, mining operations honeycombed the belt, massive fusion reactors powered cities on the moon, and most impressive of all, the defense grid. Thousands of platforms, each capable of independent action, each controlled by AI that made Council targeting systems look like children's toys. "Do they?" Najwa asked. "Humans have a saying. Necessity is the mother of invention. You cut them off from galactic trade, they became self-sufficient. You refused to share technology, they developed their own, and surpassed yours in several fields. You thought isolation would break them. Instead, it freed them." Sagasta received the latest intelligence report and allowed himself a grim smile. The Council was fracturing. 3 species had already opened back-channel communications with Earth, offering private trade deals. The Council's much-vaunted unity was crumbling, and all humanity had done was refuse to play their game. "Sir, the Council has just transmitted another offer," his XO reported. "They're willing to withdraw all forces from the solar system, recognize complete Earth sovereignty, and offer reparations for the mining operations." "Their response?" Sagasta asked. "They want our answer within 6 hours or they'll assume hostile intent." Sagasta laughed, a cold, hard sound. "Assume hostile intent? We have 87 warships parked at their doorstep. If we were hostile, we wouldn't be waiting. Forward their message to Ambassador Najwa. Let's see how she handles it." In the Council chamber, Najwa read the message and felt a fierce pride in her species. The Council was learning, finally, that silence could be the most powerful negotiation tool of all. Every hour that passed without human response, the council grew more desperate, more willing to concede. "You want an answer?" Najwa said, addressing the chamber. "Here it is. Humanity doesn't want your council membership. We don't want your trade agreements or your technology exchanges. We don't want a seat at your table." Relief flooded through the assembled delegates, quickly followed by confusion. "Then what do you want?" the Krillian delegate asked. Najwa's smile was sharp as a blade. "We want you to understand that Earth is sovereign. Not because you granted it. Not because we negotiated for it, but because it simply is. We want you to understand that humanity will make its own path through the stars, with or without your permission. We want you to understand that when you deal with humans, you deal with equals, or you don't deal with us at all." She paused, letting her words sink in. "And most importantly, we want you to understand that silence isn't weakness. Sometimes silence is simply a civilization deciding that you're not worth talking to." The council chamber erupted in chaos, but Najwa was already leaving. Her ship was waiting. Sagasta would maintain the fleet's position for another week, just long enough for the message to truly sink in. Humanity had learned an important lesson about galactic politics. Sometimes the best negotiation is no negotiation at all. Sometimes the most powerful statement is silence. And sometimes the only way to win a rigged game is to refuse to play. As Najwa's shuttle departed the station, she looked back at the council's glittering structure. Let them panic. Let them fracture. Let them learn that humanity would never again beg for scraps from their table. The age of human subordination was over. The age of human independence had begun, and it had started with a simple word. No, or rather with the absence of any word at all.